Thank you for the invitation. Now it will be quite practical. Perhaps some words to my company, our company, Power Pellets. We start 1990, so 15 years with our pellet activities. Then 2003 we create the trademark Power Pellets and also build up our own production. And then we see that the market works more and more like the oil market, and we transfer the pellet part of our activities, also wood chips and logwood, to a separate company and also include an oil trader inside the company. Some words to our trading concept. It's a kind of franchise concept. So we have partner traders. They deliver an exclusive area to the end client, and there where we have no traders, we deliver direct to the end client. We have a centralized logistic, but integrate there also the trader trucks. So all the orders come in one big pot, and then we look what is the cheapest way to transport to the client. Of course, with our trademark Power Pellets, we have a higher quality than EM Plus required. So if we have weak parameters for EM Plus, it helps us with our trademark. In the moment, we are trading 80,000 tons of pellets per year, around 10,000 bagged, with own trucks, 8 own trucks and 5 silo trucks. They are owned by partner traders, and so 4 storages for the middle of Germany, so we don't deliver in complete Germany. I like to speak first about some basic things. For example, if you see the first picture, greeting of customers, important is that the driver is friendly and that you have clean clothes and clean shoes, especially on the carpet of the living room. So this is a difference when you look in the agriculture sector. Often agriculture companies deliver pellets, but this service on pellets is not coming in the head. So we like that our drivers are looking friendly and they are our visit card to the clients. Of course, then the technical part starts. The driver needs to check the storage room and needs to check if the boiler is switched off, that we have no back burning or back gassing. And of course, it is very important to document the things he finds at the client. The documentation, we have a checklist. A checklist is also in the handbook of the EM Plus handbook, but we have to add there some other points, also safety points, so that he is looking if there are ventilated caps, and the truck driver can sell also ventilated caps. He looks if a sticker is on the storage room. And if he needs to enter the storage room, he has a CO warner on the telephone. We continue with the picture story. 2 tubes and 1 plug socket for the vacuum fan. 60 ampere needs to be. And important is also that the client gets some explanation what starts, and then the blowing process, the individual blowing process, because every storage at the end client is different. You get there a lot of surprises, so the driver needs to decide what conveying air, how much conveying air he's using, how much pressure he put on the silo truck, and what mass flow he has, that he get a good result, a good quality inside the storage room. So the driver needs experience and, of course, training, and that's why we do experiments, or we like to know what is behind the blowing process. And now, 2 months ago, we do big experiments, 31 experiments, and we measure pellets around about 7 tons. Every pellet we measure with a machinery with 4 cameras, so that we know exactly how long are the pellets of different qualities. And then we change the pressure, for example, 0.2 to 0.8, so the high pressure and the low pressure, a long hose or a short hose, and improvised a storage room, Marcos, a storage room where we can lift the storage room, and also the 5 types. So we could not to practice every possible connection, but a lot of. And I want to show some of our results now. And of course, we need to measure then the pellets afterwards. So if you see 1 ton is round about 1 million, 1.5 million pellets. So we measure 7 million pellets before the blowing in process and afterwards, so that we know exactly what the process of bringing in destroy the pellets and how many fines you get. Some words, what happened on the silo truck. You have the compressor air going on the silo and on the carrier or the conveying air directly in the tube. This, the driver decide how much he give on the silo and how much he give directly in the tube. Then you measure the pressure and the mass flow, yeah, okay, the mass flow not. Imagine what, here is the storage room, this quadrat you see, this the storage room of the end client. So if we have over pressure of 0.1 bar, then you get 1 ton per meter quadrat. So it's very important that the driver and you as a trader knows what happened with the truck, the silo truck, in this process to blowing in, that you get no overpressure in the pellet storage, because then you get for sure complaints by the end client if one wall is moved or the whole cellar have fines. We installed at our trucks, and now we have installed at 4 trucks this technique, but in the next years we will install it also in all trucks. We measure the compressor air, the flow rate, the air flow rate at the compressor, at the conveying air, and calculate the silo air. This is not normal. Normally you see at the silo truck only the pressure, but don't see the air flow. Then, of course, we measure the pressure in the silo of the truck, and we are recording the weight. So the weighing system is connected with the system, so that you get it directly compared with the flow rate and the pressure. This data are sent from every client to a web-based server, and there, some hours later, we get the result. And this is very good for training of truck drivers. And of course, if there is a complaint, we can look inside and see what the driver had done, if it's our fault or the fault of the constructor of the storage. For example, here, the airflow, you can see peaks where, for example, the truck driver try to move the pellets when the pellets are nearly blocked in the tube, that he gave some extra air inside. So it's crystal clear what the driver had done, and also the pressure you see directly compared with the airflow. The mass flow, how fast the driver blow in the pellets, and more important is the temperature. Because the temperature, perhaps you can see the numbers here, I think we have around about 115 degrees. That's quite high, and many people expect 50, 60 degrees, but we have quite high temperature in the air because we compress the air and then the air will be higher. This have results on safety. For example, if you heat up with the hot air the pellets, you get more outgassing of the pellets, and also you see the maintenance of the truck, the filter at the compressor. If the filter is nearly blocked, then the temperature goes also up. And a number in Germany in the last summer, I think we lose 3 trucks because they were burnt, and probably it was the filter. So the temperature of the air is quite important, and you need to attend. I'm coming back because now we have the 2 puzzle tiles together. We have the possibility to measure what happened with the blowing in at the truck, and we measured the pellets. So if you look here on the 5 pellet qualities, then you see the colored part is what the length is more shorter afterwards. So you see at the EM Plus pellets, the first sort, that the length was before 16 millimeters and afterwards it was 15 millimeters. You can see also at the industry pellets, 8 millimeter and industry 6 millimeters, but especially 8 millimeters, they were quite short, but they also get more shorter. But if you look on the fines, you get with a high airflow and 12-meter length of the tube and the distance of the protection mat 4 meters, you see that you get quite high fines because with a high airflow you blow in the pellets quite aggressive. So we get from the small pellets mainly fines, but they will broke because they are already short. But the long pellets, if you look on the backed pellet, they are broken in the middle, so you get more shorter pellets, but not so much fines. A second experiment was what's the influence of the mat, the protection mat, into the storage. So one time 1.5 meter and one time 4 meter distance of this protection mat in the storage. And here you see something curious. The line without the dots is the initial line, so the pellet length before. And you see the maximum or the medium of the pellets was before 16 millimeters. And after blowing in and measuring, we get at the mat distance of 1.5 meter. That's the line was not total. Yeah, you will show it. And we have there 14.8 millimeter length, but the pellets with the wide distance protection mat have only 30.8 millimeter. And this is not only one example with 30 meter hose, it was general that the fines with the 4 meter mat were higher and the pellets were more short by this process at the 4 meter impact mat. That sounds not logic. Our theory is that because we had a block of pallet inside our storage, because we lift up the storage to recharge the pellets quite fast, so the mat with the 1.5 millimeter distance can move to the back. So the pellets are quite sliding in compared to the protection mat 4 meters. This mat can only move quite few centimeters. So it seems that the sliding effect is quite good for the pellets. Also, it's important that you have tubes which have an inner surface which is coated, which is slippy, so that the pellets don't destroyed by the tube. About the ground connection, I can speak now a half hour, but I only want to say it's important that you have the ground connection from the truck to the silo, the storage room of the client, and therefore you need to connect also this copper wire of the tube to the connectors and so on, so that you have this ground effect. And also there, it's not so good if you have at the connectors edges where you get fines. If you look more detailed to a bend, you see that the pellets are going through the outside. So you have friction between pellets and pellets, and pellets and the bend, the metal bend. And you see also, if you have only this bend and no straight straight part of the tube at the end, you get an edge where you destroy pellets. So you need to have behind this little red circle a straight part of the tube that the pellets can move through the whole diameter of the tube and not destroyed by this edge at the end of the bend. What we see also is the movement of fines. The fines are separated to the downer part, and the pellets are discharging like an hour watch. And I put here a film. I hope I can start the film. But there is yep. Look on the upper 2 rows. Up. No, it's not working. Yeah. Perhaps you start and I say stop. Perhaps you see me? No? You have the same. Thank you. And there you can see that people think if they get new pellets, the older pellets are discharged. This is not true. If you have in a storage room 2 tons of pellets and buy again 4 tons of pellets, a new delivery, you will discharge the new delivery and the old 2 tons are stay down. And if you know that the fines are separate to the downer part, you get a lot of fines in the downer part, and that's why it's so important that the storage room will be cleaned after every second delivery. It's nice to see, you know? But I continue. Here also the flat one. Okay, I come to the summary. So the driver of the silo truck is the key to have few complaints and good sleep for the pellet trader, that you have no trouble. If you have short pellets, you get a high content of fines. if you have long pellets, very long pellets, 30 millimeters, then they will break in the middle and you have a higher disintegration. Then you have, for example, a length of 1.6, 1.7 centimeter. This seems to be the length which is quite stable. The impact of the protection mat should allow a sliding of pellets so that the impact mat can move. The hose length has a significant influence. I could not show you the results, but believe me, use the smallest possible airflow, because this was the highest influence on the pellet quality, and because of the separation of the fines, clean the storage after every 2 or 3 delivery. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Thanks a lot.